You're welcome.
and to talk all about the Noble Retreat and your experience that you had last year. But before
Yeah.
we sort of jump into it, can you please let everyone know a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name's Samantha. I currently work as a TA in a school. In my spare time, I do a bit of creative work. So that's my Instagram page, which I do a lot of design work and alterations and customizations and stuff. So that's what I do. I'm also a mother of two children. And yeah.
Okay, well, before we go into it any further, thank you for everyone for joining, as I've not said so before. But can you tell us a little bit about your yoga journey and your
Yeah.
experience of yoga?
So initially I was not never interested in yoga because I thought it was too slow for my mind. I'm a fast person, as some people may know, that I like to, my mind's always racing. So yoga for me was very slow. You introduced me to yoga. You was always ranting on about it, and I thought, you know what, let me give it a try. So I think my first session was with you. After the first session, I felt like, okay, it's okay, but not really like, I didn't really feel connected to it. I then did the next session with you, and I really felt connected in that session. Your voice was very soothing. How you taught the lesson, you walked around and involved yourself with everybody, and you really, you know, encouraged everybody to, do their best in the class.
And how did that session make you feel, Sam? Because I'm so glad that you didn't give up. Because a lot of people, what they unfortunately do is their
Yeah,
first experience of yoga may not be the best, and
yeah,
they give up. So I'm glad that I was able to encourage you to continue, and you did do that. How did you
yeah.
feel after that initial session?
That first initial session, I didn't feel like frustrated or like, oh God, this is not for me. I just thought, let me give it another try, because I did initially feel relaxed in that session, especially towards the end when you said, lay on your mats, relax, open your arms, and just relax and just take it all in. So
Mm,
that after that session, I felt, okay, this is good.
mhm.
The
Good.
next session, I think the next session when I really felt deeply connected was when you was like, there was certain things that you was doing, like tree pose, for instance, when you was like, okay, root your foot into the ground and just balance, close your eyes if you need to, and just put your mind somewhere else. And that for me was an eye opener, because I didn't know that my mind could go to another place, if that makes sense. So when I'm rooting my foot into chi pose, trying to balance with my arms like this, and you're like, okay, take yourself somewhere else. And I just, in that moment, I felt like I was on the beach in Jamaica. So I was like, okay, this is really good, this is what yoga can do. This is like sort of healing, inner healing for myself. So
Hmm.
that's when I really started getting connected to it. And I think I did invite you to the children's school one time, because I was so connected to it. I did invite you to the children's school to do a session there, and a few of the parents obviously got involved, and they did feel the same way like how I felt. So I was like, okay, if I can change someone else's life, doing yoga, or even how they, you know, de-stress.
Yeah,
I've
that's
done a
amazing.
and
Yeah.
and you as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's amazing, Sam, and it's good to see your enthusiasm that you got some benefits from your
Yeah,
initial experiences, and you wanted to share that with your fellow parents in the school.
yeah.
So thank you. So, did you think, Sam, initially that yoga was for you? Did you feel that there were people that looked like you that did yoga, that would make you try yoga if I wasn't encouraging you to do yoga?
No, initially it was never for me. Again, the people didn't look like me who did yoga practices. They didn't look like me, and I just felt maybe uncomfortable that I wasn't doing it right. Or if I did go to a yoga class, I'd probably stay at the back because I felt like I couldn't keep up with the teaching, or they weren't going to be inclusive like how you are. Obviously, after I've done teachings with you, it seems like everyone's trying to do that inclusivity now, and yeah, involve everybody. But I didn't see myself doing it. Like I said, I was very fast paced, very active. So yoga for me was like, oh, I'm going to fall asleep. It's going to be so boring. It's not going to stimulate me. It's not going to do anything for me. So after taking your classes and feeling so deeply connected within myself, I thought, wow, this is amazing.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Sam. And so let's move on to the retreat, Sam. So this time last year, you considered going on to the yoga retreat. What
Yeah.
made you, other than me trying to convince you to go, made you actually take up the invitation and attend the retreat?
I think it's more the location, being away from the children, away from everybody and the noise and the hustle and bustle of London. I think having that whole weekend, because a lot of us do weekends away, like spa weekends, or a quick trip around the trip to a different country. So I thought, why not do a yoga retreat? It's different, something different. and just to see how I got on, really.
Okay. And were you
Yeah.
ever daunted by the fact that it was a yoga retreat, that you thought you'd maybe doing yoga all weekend, because you're still literally what I would
Moving.
consider a beginner,
Yeah.
you're at the start of your journey.
Yeah. I think because of how you teach and your layout of what you said is going to happen each day, I believe that obviously it would be a practice where it would just flow throughout the day. Nothing's going to be too intense. And if you did feel like it was too intense, you offered us to, take time out or sit on the mat and just relax. So I didn't feel like it was going to be too intense for me. I just felt like it was going to be a natural, like, relaxing weekend, to be honest with you.
Okay, so I'm glad I was able to. I'm glad.
Actually, the only thing that I was concerned about was the vegan food, the advertisement of the vegan food.
And what was your concern about the food? So I can
That
laugh
I was
about it
going to
now.
be hungry. That I was going to be hungry. Because everyone knows that I can eat for Jesus and his disciples. So I thought, like, you know what, yeah? I'm going to starve on this retreat. Like, that's what I thought. But I thought, you know what? Let me just give it a go. And I did buy a few snacks just before the retreat started. But I didn't eat it. I didn't eat any of those snacks. I was full and everything. So, yeah, that was my only concern, that I was going to be hungry, to
I
be
was going to
fair.
be hungry. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. And I love you. I applaud your honesty. But at least then you had sufficient. Everyone had sufficient food on the retreat, and that's never going to
Yeah.
be a concern anyway in that respect. So your expectations of a retreat, Sam. What did you expect other than what I told you was going to happen? Did
Yeah.
it? Did it? Did it live up to your expectations? Is what I want to find out.
So I thought we would do yoga like every single day and do it throughout the day, obviously like you planned. But I didn't know it's going to be deeper than that. Like your self-care workshop, for instance, that was a nice surprise to me, because that was like deeper within. It made us sit down and really analyze ourselves and how we think about life and how we talk to ourselves, and how the world sees us. So that for me, I didn't know about the self-love workshop, and that for me was like a real game changer for me. It made me look deep within and really think, like, sometimes in life we talk to ourselves away in a particular way, and it's not good mentally, physically. And doing your self-care workshop was like, wow. So I didn't expect that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a nice surprise. And how did it make you feel, Sam? Because you said you connected more deeply with yourselves. How did that make you feel?
The self-care workshop, or just the yoga retreat?
Or the whole experience and all the
um
workshops. Yeah.
it made me feel loved, to be fair. Self-love. It made me feel more at ease, more calm, more peaceful, um nourished. Being at the workshop, it made me feel nourished. Obviously the food and stuff, the sun was really nice, the weather was really nice. The yoga practices again made me feel a bit more flexible. It opened me up to, like, I probably went there feeling a bit stiff and rigid, and I came back feeling like there's more movement in the body.
Excellent. Sounds like
Yeah.
you had changes both in your mind and your body. It wasn't just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
physical aspect of it as well. And what about in the people that came, Sam? Did you know, other than me, did you know any of the other attendees? And how was that? How did you all get on, or not, as the case may be? So I don't want to put
Yeah.
words in your mouth.
It was really lovely, to be fair. There was a lot of people from different backgrounds, different age groups, different races, different beliefs. But the amazing thing is that we all bonded together. I remember around the dinner table and the breakfast table, we was all having a nice conversation. Everyone kind of like got along. We all spoke about our yoga journeys. It was really nice. The set of people that came, they were really nice. So I feel like anybody that maybe is thinking to come and they may not have someone to come, go by yourself if you need to. Like, you'll make friends. Everyone's like really nice and kind. And, mentally, I think mentally, it's a good weekend away, to be fair.
Thank you.
Mentally, yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't paid Sam any money to say all
No.
this. I have.
No, for me, I like to be around people, but then I'm an extrovert, but then also an introvert. So for me, that was like, wow, no noise. It was just like silence, getting to know myself, no judgment. It was a nice experience, a really nice experience.
Okay. And did you feel, Sam, that you had enough time for yourself, that it wasn't like a full-on schedule, that you felt that it was regimented, that you had to, I had a timetable, and you had to do
Yeah.
everything that I
Oh, no, no,
was,
no, no, no. The way you broke the schedule down, it would be like something like, okay, breakfast and then a morning session, and then we could wander off into the location of where it was, do a nature walk. You could use the hot tub. You could be in your room, you could sit down and watch TV, you could do anything. So it's more free flow, but then the sessions were at specific times. And like I said, if you didn't feel up for it, I think there was one lady that was there that felt a bit tired and she just was allowed to leave. You know, it's not like you have to stay. You know what I mean? You're allowed to wander in a sense. Not wander so much, obviously, participate in the class, but if you do feel tired, you can take your time out on the mat and just, you know, relax.
Yeah.
So it's not pressurized like, oh, you've got to do this schedule and you've got to stick to the schedule. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And what did you think of the location, Sam, and the accommodation?
Oh, it was lovely. It was so lovely. It was like so peaceful, a lot of greenery, birds chirping. It was really nice. And there was a dog. The dog. Remember when we first arrived, and the dog was just lying there on all four, like on its side, just and the sun was just belting down on it. That was it was a really lovely experience. The location was a really nice place as well.
Yes.
All the faculties and stuff are clean. The water, oh my gosh, the water. they're poisoning us down here because the water was so fresh. The tap water was like filtered, so you could drink the tap water. It was really nice, really nice. The food was amazing.
Yeah.
Location was lovely. I can't fault it.
Yeah, and I think we looked at like the weather for the whole weekend was just
Yeah,
like what we're experiencing right now, and
yeah,
that was I think the end of May. So
yeah.
yeah, and I love that it's a year ago, Sam, and the way in which you talk about it, it's like the memory's so fresh in
Yeah, yeah,
in your
they keep
mind.
coming back. The more I think about it, it's like they come back, and even I would say, even if the weather ain't so great, it's still a nice experience. There's a lot of windows, big windows, so it's not like you're going to be missing. You know, the light will still come in if that makes sense. It's not like it's going to be gloomy and dark. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like people should still go, even if the weather's going to be a bit Englishy, English weather. You know, it's unpredictable.
Yeah,
But
indeed, yeah, we like that. So hopefully we'll have the same weather this time round because you know it's a little bit more further down in the year. I think it's or
yeah,
just over a month away now in that respect. And Sam, what was your favourite part of the retreat?
I think my favourite part was doing the headstand practice with you because I didn't know I could do a headstand. I felt like the way you taught me to adjust my arms and my core, I think that was a good experience. That part was my favourite, I think.
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
have to share the video again, Sam, because it's so funny the way in which I was like
Oh, yeah.
clapping, and then you too as well afterwards. I
I
think
was
it's a
clapping. I was
funny
like, and
moment.
he was like, why are you clapping? I was like, I don't know. It's, you know, we both, you know,
But
it
it
was
was just
really
so
nice.
spontaneous. It was just so
Yeah,
spontaneous, and it was just so, you know, the excitement and the delight just to see you trust your body. Because what I love about the retreats and the way I teach these retreats, it's not about me. What I try to do by creating these retreats, because they're so needed, is that to trust me, but most importantly, to trust yourself. And that's the
definitely.
thing. And to see it happened and that headstand, and I think the way I ran away from you and the way I started clapping, I think the way I hyped you up, you know, I'd be your best hype person. It was just so, and then you started clapping as well, and which is amazing. It was just so much joy, you know, because I think that yoga isn't just about the physical, because what
Yeah,
yoga allows you to actually connect with your true self in that
yeah,
respect, and realize your body's true potential, which is certainly amazing in that respect. So I love that was on your favorite moments as well. And for anyone, Sam, that hasn't done a retreat or is thinking about coming to the retreat again, because you know we had such an amazing time that I'm going to be holding it again
Mhm.
in June. What advice would you give them?
I would say just go for it. I'd say, you know, it's a great experience to really connect to your soul, your mind. You almost feel like even thinking back to when you was chiming the bowls. Do you remember? And
The
it,
singing bowls, yeah, the singing
yeah,
bowls.
and then my body just went into another dimension. Each dom that you did, my body just kept going into another dimension. That whole overall experience, I just want someone to experience it at least once. Do you know what I mean? At least once in their lifetime. And also, I feel like if you've got a lot of pressure on your body, a lot of like you're not as flexible as you may seem, may come across, or you feel like you know you need to just get away for the weekend. I would suggest that you do go there and just relax, do a bit of yoga, meet some nice people, eat some lovely food. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, someone's asked a question. Is it only once a year? At the moment, but I am looking maybe after, is it Nats?
Yeah.
looking to hold more. I may be doing an overseas one or be doing one in another location. So please feel free to sign up, and you'll find out more of this as well. But why I love running these retreats, I mean, thank you for sharing this, and is that people come and they different levels, and
Yeah.
I love the reaction, and you said I get in the class when they come and they feel it's amazing. But to have that for a weekend, you're able
Yeah.
to go more deeper into, connecting your mind and your body. That's the true yoga, when you start to experience life from the inside out. That's the yoga, and that's the magic of the yoga. And just and what I'm so lucky. I love what I do, but I get to
Yeah.
sit back and to actually witness that journey, even for that one weekend, to witness maybe the initial, people being tentative, and then the way in which they're falling out of the poses, they find that their inner child, or
Yeah.
they're able to trust their body so much more and to do more than they actually think. And when you see the shock on someone's face, it's just such a beautiful experience, and that's why I think people come and retreat. But what I'd like to say as well, Sam, but it's not about retreating from life. Hopefully, what I've given you is tools that you can actually take into your everyday
Definitely.
life. And so now it's almost a year on, Sam,
Yeah.
what have you been able to incorporate, if any, into your everyday life? If you can give examples of that, that'd be great.
So I still do yoga, and like you said as well, it's not about your size, your race, your color. You can incorporate it in everything that you do. So a few weeks ago, I remember having a conversation with you because I had a trapped nerve. Do you remember?
Hmm.
And I did call 111. They almost sent the blue lights for me here, and it's like every time I sat down or lay down, the pain would get worse. But the movement with yoga, like child's pose, for instance, that's the one that got the pain out of my shoulder, because I was like, okay, my body wants me to move, so I'm going to move. So I was on the floor, stretching, doing different yoga techniques that you've taught me, and just allow my body to just move in the way that, okay, the pain's in my shoulder, I need to get this pain out of my shoulder. And I remember child's pose, and I remember just laying there and just doing child's pose and stretching as far as I could, and then moving my shoulders back, any movement that my body would naturally tell me to do. And I was just like, wow, like a few days, I think it took about 2 days, and the pain, I managed to get that trapped nerve out of my body. And I thought, wow, like if it wasn't because of you introducing me to yoga, I don't even know where I'd be, to be fair.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Even like flexibility, I can do the splits now. I couldn't do the split. Well, I couldn't do the splits before, but I can do it on some days if I have that movement. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you do learn a lot, and then you can take it away from the retreat. Even in your yoga classes, you learn a lot from your yoga classes. How you teach, how you soothe us. It's all natural, and then we take it away and bring it into our everyday life. Stress reliever. A hard day at work, it all entwines.
Yeah.
It all entwines as one. So I'd say I definitely took away movement, and no matter the age
Yeah.
or the size of the body needs movement.
Yeah. No, Sam, I couldn't have said it better myself, but what
Yeah,
I witnessed that you haven't observed, that you then tapped into your intuition, the fact that you knew that your body needed movement,
yeah,
the fact you're able to connect to that and see. So that's something that is not taught, because we all have innate wisdom, but we're not always able to connect our mind to our body. So for
yeah,
you to have that, to be in the moment, and to give
definitely.
yourself that gift, it's a gift you gave yourself, and you're
Self
able to heal yourself,
self
to heal.
healing.
Yeah, to give yourself that self-healing, Sam,
Mm,
that's amazing. And then,
yeah,
and then you said how your body's changed, and now that you're able to do the splits, that it shows that your body can do more than you actually believed it can do, that you're trusting your body. And that's so beautiful, just from the few sessions that you've done. And I know that and I shouldn't be talking to you, but I know you're doing yoga classes, but you're doing with other people right now. And that's good. I'm not all
I
about.
mean, yours is still the best though. I think your voice, you've got a unique voice. I'm not just saying that honestly, because I feel like you can lead a yoga class without music in the background with your natural voice, and it can be very soothing. The yoga class what I attend once a week at my local gym, I've noticed that she plays a lot of music in the background, and that music is probably taken over her soothing voice. So you've naturally got it, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
obviously, your yoga class at the end can put me to sleep. a good kip.
And that's all I want to do. All I want to do, Sam, is share the gift, and
Yeah,
you actually, you're exuding it here. Your energy, the vibe that you're giving, and that's
yeah,
just from the memory alone. And that's where, for me, the real yoga doesn't just happen on the mat. It's when you're able to take it into your everyday life, and that's what
yeah,
you've shared today, and that's what you're able to do. So I'm just so happy, because if I can just change one person's mindset or viewpoint, and just to go back, going to the retreat is for everybody. And as Sam has said, it's for
mhm,
all ages, all sizes, all genders, ethnicity to come along. And the people that came last year, it was almost like they were handpicked, but they came together organically in that
yeah,
respect. And the response and the feedback I got from the retreat was amazing. And I think the name, the Noble Retreat, was actually gifted to me by all the attendees. That was
yeah.
amazing. I didn't think to use my name. It was like everyone said, "Donna, this is a Noble Retreat," and that's why I called it the Noble Retreat, because of that. And it's just, you know, come as you are. I will meet you where you are, and I'll take you on the
Definitely.
journey with me. You can do as little or as much as you want, and Sam can testify to that as well. It's about finding joy. It's about you connecting with yourself. Where we live in a world where it's so busy, how
Yeah.
often do we get to rest, to learn skills, not to retreat from life, but to learn those skills so you can take it into your life and have a better life because of it? And then life may become that retreat, but it's
Mm.
the tools. And more than ever now, we need yoga. And I can see my Yvonne's on there. Yvonne teaches restorative yoga, and so Yvonne knows about rest. Rest is our birthright, and this retreat will allow you to connect with that in that respect. So the date is the 6th to the 8th of June, back at the Quays, a wonderful, wonderful location. When I've saved this recording, I'll put the link and more information about the retreat, or please feel free to reach out to me and I can talk to you about any concerns that you have. But you have an amazing experience. I'm not just saying that. Sam did it for me as well,
It was
and
lovely,
and
honestly.
hopefully Sam will come back this year again. That's how much it is, and experience the yoga. Yoga is for everybody, and retreats are for everybody. So if you ever consider going to a retreat, please feel free to come, because I will take care of you. And the people that come as well, you're free to be who you are. You don't have to wear yoga clothes. You don't have to have
Yeah.
the latest leggings. You can wear what you want. You come as you are. You don't have to be flexible. Flexibility, it's not about how the yoga looks. When I teach yoga, it's about how it makes you feel. That's the most important thing, is trust in your body. Your body knows best. Switch off the mind and trust your body. So please feel free to come along. And Sam, any last words that you'd like to leave the
I actually created a poem.
Oh, did you? Gonna read it out?
Yeah,
You read it out.
I
Go on.
created a poem. I was gonna post it after, but I thought, you know what? Let me say it out on here, and then I'll post it after, because it's just about my experience at the retreat, and I'm a very creative person. So, for me, I can talk for hours, but I feel like with the poem, I've expressed myself of what you may expect there, or
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
go for it.
let's hope I don't fumble my words, right?
Go for it.
All right. Donna Noble meets yoga retreat. A blissful weekend, oh so sweet. We take the beautiful drive to sunny Canterbury. Donna Zelia and I were also very merry. Birds chirping peacefully, beautiful sunsets. The best yoga weekend with no regrets. Downward facing dog, vegan food galore. As we lay in child's pose on the warm heated floors. Donna's soothing voice as she chimes the bowls, an experience that one won't forget, especially forward fold. Warrior one, swiftly into two then three. Tree pose was the best, it tested the strength of my knees. Headstand practice, core tight and aligned. Find your position, let balance unwind. Everybody's a yoga body, can't you see? That includes you and it includes me. Self-care workshop, searching deep within, that beauty is more than just the surface of our sin. Be gentle with yourself. You really are enough, like roses growing in dirt or diamonds in a rough. The Craves Yoga Retreats will make you feel revived. Reset your mind, soul, and body in June 2025. So That's just a little
Oh, you're making me
memory.
tear up here, Sam. Thank you. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I think lovely Karen is on as well. And you're getting loads of love hearts. Karen's currently on her retreat in
Oh
Barbados. So I feel really grateful that she's popped
wow.
up. And also Boss Lady is giving you some hearts as well.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sam. Do share that. And I'm going to, print it
I
off and
will.
keep that to remind me. So that's so beautiful. It's a beautiful way to end our
All
live
right.
today. But thank you for agreeing
You're
to
welcome.
the live today. And once again, everyone, please feel free to reach out if you've got any questions. I'll put the link in the bio. I'll put the link in to find out more information about the retreat. And thank you, Yvonne, as well. Wonderful, she says, Sam, for joining us as well. I hope to see you, some of you
Thanks,
soon,
guys.
wherever I teach. But most importantly, I hope to see you at the retreat. Take care. Have a wonderful